Ancient Egypt, a land of mystery and wonder. The ancient Egyptians created a civilization that lasted for thousands of years. They built great cities and monuments. They developed a system of writing and mathematics. They left behind a legacy that still fascinates us today. The ancient Egyptians were skilled artists and architects. They built temples and tombs that were decorated with intricate carvings and paintings. They also developed a unique style of art that was characterized by its use of hieroglyphics and its depiction of gods and goddesses. The ancient Egyptians were also skilled engineers. They built canals and irrigation systems that allowed them to grow crops in the desert. They also developed a system of mathematics that was used to build the pyramids and other structures. The ancient Egyptians were a religious people. They believed in many gods and goddesses. They believed that when a person died, their soul would be judged by Osiris, the god of the underworld. If the person had lived a good life, their soul would be allowed to enter the afterlife. At the heart of this grand civilization were the pharaohs. They were more than kings. They were considered gods on earth. Egyptians believed pharaohs were the link between the gods and the people. They had absolute power. They controlled all aspects of life in Egypt. The pharaoh was responsible for maintaining order. He was also responsible for protecting Egypt from its enemies. The pharaoh was also the high priest of every temple. He performed religious ceremonies. He made offerings to the gods. The pharaoh's power was absolute. His word was law. He could command the army. He could order the construction of temples and pyramids. He could even control the Nile River. The pharaoh's position was hereditary. This means it was passed down from father to son. When a pharaoh died, his son would become the new pharaoh. The new pharaoh would inherit all of his father's power and responsibility. Over centuries, many pharaohs ruled Egypt. Some were strong rulers who expanded the empire. Others were known for their wisdom and justice. A few stand out in history for their achievements and the mark they left on Egypt. One of the most famous pharaohs was Tutankhamun. He became pharaoh when he was just a boy. He is famous for his tomb. It was discovered in 1922. It was almost completely intact. The treasures found inside his tomb gave the world a glimpse into the wealth and splendor of the ancient Egyptians. Another famous pharaoh was Ramses II. He ruled for over 60 years. He was a great warrior. He expanded the Egyptian empire. He also built many temples and monuments. These include the temple complex at Abu Simbel. Cleopatra VII was the last pharaoh of Egypt. She was a skilled politician and diplomat. She is known for her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. She fought to keep Egypt independent from Rome. However, she was defeated. Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire. Tutankhamun, the boy king, remains an eternal enigma. Ascending the throne at a young age, his reign was short-lived. Yet his legacy is one of the most enduring in Egyptian history. This is largely due to the discovery of his tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter. The tomb of Tutankhamun was a treasure trove. It was filled with gold, jewels, and other precious artifacts. The most famous object from the tomb is the golden death mask of Tutankhamun. It is a stunning example of ancient Egyptian artistry. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb caused a worldwide sensation. It revived interest in ancient Egypt. People were captivated by the story of the boy king and his treasures. The discovery also provided valuable insights into the burial practices and religious beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. Section 5. Ramses II, a warrior and builder. Ramses II, often hailed as Ramses the Great, is another iconic figure from Egyptian history. He reigned for over 6 decades, a period marked by military campaigns, monumental construction projects, and diplomatic maneuvers. Ramses II was a prolific builder. He commissioned the construction of numerous temples, monuments, and cities. Among his most impressive architectural feats are the temple complex at Abu Simbel and the Ramesseum, his mortuary temple. On the battlefield, Ramses II was a fierce warrior. He led his armies against the Hittites, a powerful empire in Anatolia. The Battle of Kadesh, fought between the Egyptians and the Hittites, is one of the earliest documented battles in history. Section 6. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh. Cleopatra VII the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, was a queen of extraordinary intelligence, charm, and political acumen. Her reign marked the final chapter in ancient Egyptian history, culminating in the Roman conquest of Egypt. Cleopatra was a shrewd diplomat and a skilled negotiator. She formed alliances with two of the most powerful Roman generals of her time, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. These alliances helped her to maintain Egypt's independence for a time. However, her relationship with Mark Antony ultimately led to her downfall. Octavian, Caesar's heir, viewed their alliance as a threat to Rome's power. In the ensuing conflict, Cleopatra and Antony were defeated. Cleopatra's death in 30 BC marked the end of the Ptolemaic kingdom and the beginning of Roman rule in Egypt. Section 7. Pyramids, Tombs of the Gods. The pyramids of Egypt are among the most recognizable and awe-inspiring structures ever built. These colossal tombs, built for pharaohs and their consorts, are a testament to the ancient Egyptians' architectural prowess, religious beliefs, and social structure. The most famous pyramids are those at Giza, on the outskirts of modern-day Cairo. These pyramids, built during the 4th dynasty, are the tombs of pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, is the oldest and largest of the three. Building a pyramid was a monumental undertaking. It required the labor of tens of thousands of workers over many years. The pyramids were built using massive blocks of stone, quarried from nearby sites and transported to the construction site using a complex system of ramps, rollers, and levers. Section 8. Mummies and Afterlife, Journey to Eternity. The ancient Egyptians believed in an afterlife. They believed that when a person died, their soul would journey to the underworld. If the soul was judged worthy, it would be allowed to live forever in a paradise known as the Field of Reeds. To prepare for the afterlife, the Egyptians developed elaborate burial practices. These practices included mummification, a process of preserving the body after death. Mummification was a complex and time-consuming process. It involved removing the internal organs, drying out the body with salts, and wrapping it in linen bandages. The mummified body was then placed in a sarcophagus, a decorated coffin. The sarcophagus was then placed in a tomb, along with food, clothing, and other items that the deceased would need in the afterlife. Section 9. Legacy of the Pharaohs, Echoes in Time. The pharaohs of ancient Egypt left an indelible mark on human history. Their reign, spanning over millennia, witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties, the construction of monumental architecture, the development of a complex social structure, and the creation of a rich cultural heritage. The pharaohs' legacy extends beyond the borders of ancient Egypt. Their influence can be seen in art, architecture, literature, and language. From the pyramids of Giza to the treasures of Tutankhamun's tomb, the echoes of ancient Egypt continue to resonate in the modern world. The pharaoh's story is a reminder of the power of human ingenuity, the enduring allure of the past, and the interconnectedness of human civilization across time and space.